Let's be honest, your phone is making you anxious. The constant notifications, the screen addiction, the feeling that you can never truly disconnect. Even Jony Ive, the man who literally designed the iPhone, admits our relationship with technology is uncomfortable, and that's putting it mildly. Well, here's something you might not expect. He's now building something completely different with OpenAI's Sam Altman, and it's not another smartphone. Welcome back to bitbiased.ai, where we do the research, so you don't have to. Join our community of AI enthusiasts. Click the newsletter link in the description for weekly analysis delivered straight to your inbox. So in this video, I'm breaking down everything we know about this mysterious new AI device that could actually make you happier instead of more stressed. We're talking about a screenless, palm-sized gadget that's being designed to transform how we interact with AI in our daily lives. This isn't science fiction. OpenAI just invested $6.5 billion into this project. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why this could genuinely change your relationship with technology for the better. Let's start with who's behind this extraordinary collaboration. The power duo, Sam Altman and Jony Ive unite. Here's what makes this project so different from every other AI gadget announcement you've seen. You've got Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, the company that gave us ChatGPT. He's not just thinking about better chatbots, he's openly said that AI might require rethinking the whole structure of society. Big ideas, right? But then you pair him with Jony Ive. If you don't know that name, you know his work. He's the legendary designer who spent over 2 decades at Apple and gave us the iMac, the iPod, and yes, the iPhone. The man defined what minimalistic, beautiful technology looks like for an entire generation. Now here's where it gets interesting. These two didn't meet in a boardroom. Their collaboration started in 2023 from what they described as friendship, curiosity, and shared values. They started having casual brainstorming sessions, just exploring ideas. But those conversations quickly grew in ambition as they realized something profound. We now have AI that can see, think, and understand the world. But we're still interacting with it through products designed decades ago. Think about that for a second. You're using ChatGPT or other cutting-edge AI through a device, your smartphone, whose basic design hasn't fundamentally changed since 2007. It's like trying to harness nuclear energy with a steam engine. By 2024, this got serious. Jony Ive founded a new company called I.O., with former Apple colleagues specifically to focus on this AI hardware vision. Then, by mid-2025, OpenAI decided to acquire I.O. outright, bringing Ive and his entire team in-house. Why? So they could work more intimately with OpenAI's engineers and researchers. No more back and forth between companies. They wanted everyone under one roof, completely aligned. In their public announcement, Sam and Jony called this an extraordinary moment in computing history. And Sam Altman's praise for Ive? Almost poetic. He said, "Great tools require work at the intersection of technology, design, and understanding people. No one can do this like Jony and his team." That's high praise, but wait until you hear what Jony said. "Everything I have learned over the last 30 years has led me to this moment." Let that sink in. The man who revolutionized personal computing is saying this project represents the culmination of his entire career. Both of them share this deep belief that with the right design and AI working together, what it means to use technology can change in a profound way. They want to recapture the delight, wonder, and creative spirit of early personal computing, before tech became synonymous with stress and distraction. So you've got a visionary AI leader and perhaps the greatest product designer of our generation joining forces. The stage is set for something genuinely different. A new category of AI device. All right, so what exactly are they building? Here's what we know for certain. This is not another smartphone. It's not smart glasses, it's not a smart speaker or AR headset. Sam Altman explicitly described this as creating a third core device for our lives, right alongside your laptop and smartphone. Stop for a moment and think about what that means. How many devices can claim to be truly essential to modern life? Your phone, your computer, maybe a smartwatch for some people. That's about it. Altman and Ive are saying this new AI device will be in that tier. An entirely new category of consumer technology. According to internal briefings, the device is designed to be portable and discreet, deeply integrated with OpenAI's AI software. It's meant to understand the user's life and environment, and serve as the central way you interact with AI models throughout your day. Now here's where the design gets fascinating. Reports indicate the device is palm-sized and screenless. Yes, you read that right. Jony Ive, who put a touchscreen in everyone's pocket and changed the world, is now exploring a future where maybe we don't need to stare at screens constantly. Instead of a touchscreen, this device would rely on cameras, microphones, and AI to perceive the world around you and respond intelligently. Imagine an ambient AI presence. It's taking in audio and visual cues from your environment, listening to your voice commands, understanding the context of what you're doing. Sam Altman hinted internally that the product would be genuinely aware of your surroundings and day-to-day experiences. But here's where it gets really intriguing. One concept they're exploring is an always-on AI assistant that doesn't even require a wake word. You know how you have to say, "Hey Siri" or "Alexa"? This wouldn't need that. It could proactively chime in when it has something useful to offer. Picture this. You're about to leave the house, and the device notices you've left the lights on and gently mentions it. Or you're running late to a meeting, and it reminds you without being prompted. The idea is that it knows when to help and when to stay quiet. Of course, getting this right is incredibly tricky. The team has reportedly struggled with ensuring the AI only speaks up when useful and knows when silence is golden. They want it to be accessible but not intrusive. As one source put it, they're trying to avoid creating a weird AI girlfriend that's constantly in your business. Finding that balance between helpful and creepy is one of their biggest challenges. Under the hood, expect the absolute latest in OpenAI technology. While specifics aren't public yet, we're talking powerful language models for natural conversation, computer vision for understanding what it sees, and probably integration with other AI services. Altman has called this an effort to create a new generation of AI-powered computers. Essentially hardware custom-built around advanced AI capabilities from the ground up. This device is intended to be the central way you interact with OpenAI's AI in the future. Now let's talk design philosophy, because this is where Jony Ive's fingerprints are all over it. He said the design should feel obvious, as if there wasn't possibly another rational solution once you see it. That's classic Ive. The goal is something entirely new that somehow feels natural and inevitable, like it was always meant to exist. And here's a detail I love. They want it to be beautiful and even whimsical. I've mentioned that if they design an interface and we can't smile honestly at it, then they haven't done their job. This hints that the product might have delightful touches or personality in how it interacts, rather than being a cold, sterile machine. Some early reports compared it to the AI assistant from the movie Her, an AI you could carry around and talk to naturally, almost like a friend. And they're adamant this isn't just strapping chatgpt to a phone. Ive finds it absurd that we deliver today's breathtaking AI capabilities through products that are decades old. So they're building something from scratch, a clean slate reimagining of what an AI device should be. The vision, making life better. Now we get to the heart of this project, the why behind it all. And honestly, this is what makes this device different from every other tech announcement you'll hear. Sam Altman and Jony Ive aren't just trying to make a cool gadget. They have a deeply philosophical purpose here. They see our current relationship with technology as fundamentally broken, and they want to fix it. Listen to what Jony Ive said. "I don't think we have an easy relationship with our technology at the moment." Then he caught himself and said that calling it uncomfortable was the most obscene understatement. Think about who's saying this. The man who helped create the modern smartphone era is essentially admitting, yes, these devices are amazing, but they've also contributed to anxiety, stress, and social disconnection. The notifications, the screen addiction, the constant alerts. We all live with these downsides every day. So with this new AI device, they explicitly want to change that dynamic. And here's what's radical about their approach. They're not prioritizing productivity or efficiency. Jony Ive says the primary goal is to improve our emotional well-being. Read that again. Happiness is the goal, not efficiency. He imagines tools that make us happy and fulfilled, and more peaceful, and less anxious, and less disconnected. In other words, this device should help you feel better and more connected to what truly matters in life, instead of adding to your digital overload. What might that actually look like? Well, imagine the device gently organizing your day in a way that reduces stress, or helping you focus on meaningful work by intelligently filtering distractions, or even fostering more real human interaction by getting technology out of the way when it should be. Jony Ive sees this as a chance to transform the relationship people currently have with the devices they use every day. If our phones sometimes make us unhappy or anxious, this AI device aims to flip that script entirely and be a calming, enriching presence in your life. Sam Altman echoes this deeply human-centric vision. He said something pretty remarkable about why they're doing this project. The reason we're doing this is we love our species and we want to be useful. Humanity deserves much better than humanity generally is given. That's not marketing speak. That's a genuine statement of purpose. Let me give you a concrete example of what this might mean. Imagine an AI companion that not only manages your calendar, but senses when you're getting overwhelmed and suggests taking a break. Or notices you've been working for hours and haven't spoken to your family, so it gently encourages you to connect with them. These are the kinds of human-centric benefits they're targeting. I've even described this opportunity as being literally on the brink of a new generation of technology that can make us our better selves. That phrase, better selves, suggests almost an uplifting, self-improvement angle. Maybe the device will help you learn more effectively, create more freely, or simply take better care of yourself in ways current devices don't facilitate. This optimistic philosophy actually harks back to an earlier era of technology. In their joint announcement, Sam and Jony reminisced about when people celebrated new tools that helped us learn, explore, and create, when technology made us feel optimistic and hopeful. They want to recapture that spirit. So making life better isn't just a tagline here. It's genuinely at the core of every design decision. If this device works as intended, it could make you happier, less lonely or stressed, and more empowered in your daily life. That's an incredibly high bar to meet, and only real-world use will tell if they succeed. But it's refreshing to see a piece of technology explicitly aimed at well-being rather than just productivity or entertainment, potential to change systemic structures. Now let's zoom out and talk about the bigger picture. Beyond individual well-being, what about those systemic structures this product might reshape? Because if this device succeeds, the implications go way beyond just having a nicer gadget. Consider how smartphones over the last 15 years completely reshaped communication, commerce, social norms, even democracy itself. Similarly, OpenAI's device could usher in what's being called ambient computing, or AI-first computing, where artificial intelligence is seamlessly woven into our daily routines, rather than something we explicitly interact with. Sam Altman has suggested we're on the cusp of profound shifts in how technology fits into our lives. If this truly becomes a third core device next to phones and laptops, it might fundamentally reduce our reliance on screens and keyboards. We'd move toward more natural interactions instead. Picture a future where instead of pulling out your phone every few minutes to check something, you simply trust an AI companion to handle tasks or proactively provide information as needed. That behavioral shift alone could change our habits around information consumption, work patterns, and even how we socialize. Think about it. We might spend dramatically less time staring at phone screens. That could improve face-to-face social interactions and reduce all those well-documented negative effects of screen addiction. In that sense, it challenges the entire system of how we currently use technology, shifting from manual, on-screen engagement to a more ambient, voice and context-based interaction model, another systemic change could happen in accessibility and inclusion. A well-designed AI device that truly understands you and your environment could be transformative for people with disabilities or older users who find today's gadgets frustratingly complex. If it's genuinely intuitive and context-aware, it could break down barriers that current interfaces create. Looking at broader societal structures, if these devices become commonplace, we might see real changes in education. Imagine AI tutors always available for students. In workplace dynamics, every employee could have an AI assistant that actually understands their role and context. The economic implications alone are staggering. Altman has talked about how advanced AI might lead us to rethink social contracts, like how jobs and income work, though that's a much larger conversation. This device is one piece of that puzzle, helping to usher AI into everyday life in a tangible, accessible way. This project is also pushing boundaries in the tech industry itself. It represents a melding of hardware and AI software in a way few companies have attempted. Altman has said he admires Apple's tight integration of hardware and software, and he's taking a page from that playbook here. We might see new standards emerge, particularly around privacy. An always listening device with cameras and microphones raises critical questions, and the team is already grappling with how it handles privacy to ensure users are comfortable. If they solve those challenges well, it could set new norms for trust in AI gadgets throughout the industry. The initiative has also attracted massive investment interest. SoftBank was reportedly ready to pour in $1 billion early on, and OpenAI sees this as potentially adding trillions in value long-term. If successful, it might spur other tech giants to follow suit, shifting the entire competitive landscape of consumer tech toward AI-centric devices, rather than incrementally improving smartphones. So this little palm-sized device could have enormous ripple effects, altering how we use technology daily, how tech companies innovate and compete, and even how we fundamentally think about AI's role in society, challenges, and timeline. With all this incredible promise, it's important to ground ourselves in reality. This is an extraordinarily hard project, and the team is completely upfront about that. Hardware is hard. Figuring out new computing form factors is hard, Altman said at OpenAI's developer conference. That's not false modesty. These are genuine, significant technical and design challenges they're actively working through. One major issue has been focusing the product concept itself. Jony Ive revealed that the collaboration has generated 15 to 20 really compelling product ideas, thanks to how rapidly AI is progressing, and choosing just one direction to pursue first has been genuinely difficult. The momentum is so extraordinary, Ive explained, that it's been almost overwhelming trying to decide which approach to commit to. This explains why, even after 2 years of intensive work, they're still refining exactly what the first device will do and look like. Beyond conceptual challenges, they've hit some real technical hurdles. Unresolved questions about the device's AI personality are still being debated and prototyped. They're wrestling with computing infrastructure decisions. Should processing happen in the cloud or on the device itself? What about battery life? How do you pack powerful AI into a palm-sized form factor that doesn't need charging every hour? That always-on voice assistant idea we talked about earlier? It's raising tricky implementation questions. Exactly when and how should the device interject in your conversations or activities without being annoying? Getting that balance right is proving complex. And then there's privacy. This is huge. A device loaded with cameras and microphones that's constantly listening will need absolutely ironclad safeguards. Users need to trust it, and people around them need to feel their privacy is respected too. These kinds of challenges have reportedly slowed progress, but to their credit, the team is taking the time to get it right rather than rushing out a half-baked product. So when might we actually see this device in our hands? As of now, OpenAI hasn't announced an official release date, but multiple reports suggest they were initially targeting late 2026 for launch. Bloomberg reported that first devices from the Altman-Ive collaboration were scheduled to debut in 2026, and internal plans aimed for the end of 2026 as a tentative timeline. Sam Altman himself has hinted to insiders that development will take a while, tempering expectations for any quick reveal. And given those technical challenges we just discussed, the Financial Times noted the launch could be delayed beyond 2026 if issues aren't resolved satisfactorily. So late 2026 is the rough target, but we should be prepared for that date to potentially slip. The key point, this is likely at least a couple of years out, probably more. Here's what's wild though. Altman and Ive are incredibly ambitious about scale once it does launch. They have a long-term goal to ship 100 million units of this device faster than any product of that scale in history. Let me put that in perspective. Even the iPhone took a couple of years to reach 100 million units sold. They're talking about smashing that record. This shows the level of impact they're genuinely envisioning. They see this as a device that almost everyone might eventually have if it lives up to its promise. Of course, that's highly aspirational, and achieving it will depend entirely on how compelling the actual product is when it finally ships. For now, in late 2025, the device remains completely under wraps. At OpenAI's Dev Day conference in November 2025, Sam Altman and Jony Ive spoke at length about their philosophy and vision for the project, but they didn't show a prototype or even reveal what it's called yet. So we don't have images or detailed specs to examine, just these broad strokes of what it's supposed to be. The secrecy suggests they want to surprise the world when it's ready, and probably also indicates things are still genuinely in flux during development. It's also worth noting they're not alone in this space. Big players like Meta have already entered the AI gadget market. Meta's smart glasses with AI capabilities have sold a couple million units, and smaller startups launch devices like the Humane AI Pin, a screen-free wearable AI assistant that came out in 2023. But here's the thing. Those early movers have largely stumbled. The Humane AI Pin got generally unfavorable feedback from users and was actually pulled from the market in under 2 years. Wired reported that many early AI devices had frustrating user experiences that didn't live up to their promises. This history of AI devices, 1.0 failing, tells us that nailing this product will require solving problems that others simply couldn't crack. The OpenAI Jony Ive team seems keenly aware of these cautionary tales, which is likely why they emphasize doing it right over doing it fast. So here's where we stand. OpenAI's upcoming AI device, built under the joint leadership of Sam Altman and Jony Ive, is genuinely one of the most eagerly anticipated projects in all of tech. Right now. What we know for certain is that it's designed to inaugurate an entirely new class of AI-centric hardware, something that doesn't look or act like any gadget we use today. Its design will likely be minimal and screenless, relying instead on advanced AI to interact with us in a more human, less attention-grabbing way. The purpose driving this project is bold and refreshingly humane. To make daily life genuinely better by reducing technology-induced stress and fostering happiness, meaningful connection, and creativity. As Jony Ive said, we have a chance to absolutely change the situation that we find ourselves in with technology. He's rejecting the idea that our current anxious, distracted relationship with our devices has to be the permanent norm. If this device lives up to even half its promise, it could be truly transformative. Imagine an AI that seamlessly assists you throughout your day and actually improves your well-being, without all the downsides we've come to accept from our current technology that could fundamentally change how we think about our relationship with devices entirely. It's no wonder Altman described it as potentially the coolest piece of technology that the world will have ever seen. That's certainly hyperbole, but it captures the genuine excitement behind this project. Jony Ive, who once put a touchscreen in every pocket and changed modern life, now envisions a future where an almost invisible AI companion makes us, as one journalist put it, a little less anxious and a little more human. For now, we'll need to be patient as development continues. The timeline suggests a launch around 2026 if things go smoothly, though that could slip, And when it does launch, you can be absolutely certain the entire tech world will be watching with intense scrutiny. It's genuinely rare to see a collaboration of this caliber, this level of talent and ambition, focused on such a deeply human, societal goal, rather than just building another gadget. As someone who follows AI developments closely, this is definitely something to be genuinely excited about. Not just for the cutting-edge technology, but for the potential it has to reshape our relationship with technology for the better. So stay tuned for late-breaking news from OpenAI over the next couple of years. We just might witness the arrival of a device that marks a completely new chapter in the story of AI in our lives. And if Sam Altman and Jony Ive succeed in their vision, it could be a chapter that leaves us happier, healthier, and fundamentally rethinking what our technology should actually do for us. Only time will tell if they can pull it off, but the vision and effort behind this project are truly inspiring. And in a tech landscape often dominated by incremental updates and marketing hype, it's refreshing to see something that genuinely aims to make all our lives better. Thanks for watching, and let's hope this is one AI innovation that lives up to its extraordinary promise.